Hello students, I have come with my third video on managing human resource. So this is a second SEM MBA subject under BCU. I am Mrs. Tanuja Nair, Assistant Professor working in GIBs B School. So this is again a question and answer on module 2. So the topics that I will be dealing with is recruitment, induction, retention, placement, and selection. So first question is on recruitment. Define the term recruitment. Point out its different features. So recruitment is nothing but a process of searching and obtaining applicants for jobs. So whenever vacancies arise in companies, to fill the vacancies, they will put forth advertisements in various media like broadcast media, print media, or digital media. So that process is known as recruitment, where the applicants, potential candidates start applying for these vacancies. That process is known as recruitment. So next we will see the features of recruitment. It is a positive process. Why it is a positive process? Because it is generating a pool of talented candidates. So by looking at these advertisements, candidates, applicants will apply. So the organizations will get a pool of potential candidates. That is why it is called as a positive function. Second feature is it is a continuous process. Recruitment is not a one-time process. It is a continuous process. Whenever vacancies arise in companies, then all the company has to go forth for the process of recruitment. So when vacancies will definitely arise, employees leave the organization for various reasons. They may retire or they may pass away or they may go for other jobs. So that time and all vacancies will arise. So that is when the companies will have to go for recruitment. So it is a continuous process. The third feature is it is a linking activity. It links employers to potential employees. So the company is the employer. So when they put forth these advertisements, when they start the recruitment process, they come in touch with the potential candidates, that is the applicants who are applying for these jobs. And it is a pervasive function. Pervasive means it is spread out everywhere. So wherever companies are there, wherever employees are working, there all the recruitment process will definitely happen in companies. So it is a pervasive function. The next feature is it is a two-way process. It links the recruiter to the recruitee. Recruiter is the employer and recruitees are the potential candidates. So whenever the recruitment process happens, it is a two-way process that happens between the recruiter and the recruitee. And it is the last feature is it is definitely a complex process. It's not an easy process. So companies have to design their advertisements, they have to plan, they have to work with advertising agencies, they have to pay fees to them, and they have to decide, do research which media is most appropriate to put forth their advertisements. So nowadays digital media is most preferred because it is the most cost effective and most pervasive media, because internet is accessed by maximum number of people today. So it is a complex process. These are all the features of the recruitment process. Next question is what is the difference between selection and recruitment? So we will see what is the difference or how to distinguish between selection and recruitment. So both these processes happen in a sequence. recruitment happens first and selection happens second. The objective of recruitment is to attract a large number of applicants, potential candidates. The objective of selection is to screen out these applicants and to select only the most suitable candidates from the pool of applicants. The process. The recruitment process, as I told you, is a positive process because we are increasing the pool of applicants by putting through our advertisements, and selection is a negative process because from that pool we are screening out, we are removing the unsuitable candidates, and we are just keeping the most suitable candidates to place them in jobs. Methods. In recruitment there are no fixed methods, so and there's no requirement for highly skilled people. Different companies have different methods of recruitment, whereas selection is a very specialized method. Trained people are required, skilled people are required to do various selection tests, to do interviews, to do GD or aptitude test. All these things are very specialized selection methods. So you need skilled people to do it, and there is no service contract as an outcome of recruitment because recruitment is just attracting the candidates and generating a pool of applicants, whereas in selection, after screening, we are screening out the unsuitable candidates, and the most suitable candidates we develop a service contract with them, that is the employment contract with them. We make them the offer of job. So the outcome of selection process is service contract. So the result of recruitment is a pool of candidates. The result of selection is you end up with the most suitable candidates who can be placed in jobs. So this is the question which answers the difference between selection and recruitment. The third question is, what is the meaning of the term induction or orientation? So all of you in your first sem, you have undergone orientation. So the same way new employees undergo orientation or induction. So they are made familiar with the new organization and its members. So it is a legal requirement. Companies have to do it legally. So it is the formal duty of companies, the employers, to do induction training for their fresh employees. So they have to introduce them into the organization, introduce them to the policies, rules, and regulations, and also what are the ways of working of the organization. All this is made known to the new employees. So the next question is principles of placement. So here there are some principles which have to be followed when you are placing the candidate into jobs. So first is the principle of job first and man next. So that means you consider the job requirements first and then match the person, his qualification, his experience to the job. So here the job is considered, job needs are considered first, and then the candidates, potential candidates, uh, qualification, experience is matched to the job needs. So in this principle, we are trying to match the right person to the right job. So next we have the principle of qualification. So here the candidate's qualification is correctly matched to the job requirements so that the right person is put into the right job. Then we have the principle of timely preparation. So before the candidate is placed into the job, arrangements have to be made so that the candidate can be smoothly put into his job. So whatever materials, resources, required instructions, all that have to be given should be prepared beforehand before the candidate is placed into the job, before he comes into the company, before the joining date. Next, we have the principle of working conditions. This principle is followed for mainly jobs which are quite hazardous. So, what all the information regarding the job, what are the do's and don'ts, all this has to be conveyed to the candidate beforehand so that he does not make any costly mistake, any fatal mistake. So, this is the principle of working conditions. Then principle of loyalty and cooperation is the new person who's being placed into the job. You explain his role, his responsibilities, make him understand all he needs to understand about his job so that he cooperates and he becomes a committed and loyal employee in the organization. Then principle of transfer is when the people are placed, usually their training will be at the training center and then they will be placed at various branches of the company. So that's a principle of transfer. Like, for example, Infosys company does all their training at their Mysore campus, and then the candidates are placed in various campuses of Infosys, maybe Pune or Hyderabad or Bangalore. So that is the principle of transfer. So these are all the principles which have to be followed when placing the new people into their jobs. Then next question is define the term of retention and also explain the need for employee retention. So retention is nothing but actions taken by the management to retain capable employees within the organization. So, this will boost the image of the company as a great employer. So, if companies are able to retain their good employees, talented employees, then they get a good name in the market, and it is also beneficial for the employees if they are retained within the organization. They get opportunities to learn, to grow, and to develop themselves. So, to achieve this employee retention, companies usually have various policies, HR policies, and they use latest infrastructure, technology, etc., to retain the best of their workforce. And they also try to create a workplace which is challenging, motivating, and satisfying to the employees so that they do not think of leaving the organization. So next we will see what is the need for employee retention. So employee retention, why we need it is because the process of recruitment is very time consuming, it's costly, and a lot of efforts go into it. So when the company loses its workforce, the vacancies arise. So then again they have to go for recruitment, so which is costly, time consuming. So this process has to be repeated if the company does not retain their good employees. Also, when new employees join into the company, they are given induction training where again time, money, and resources are spent on them. So when these employees leave the organization, company loses all that training which they had given to the new employees. So one more reason why employees have to be retained into the organization. The third reason is that when employees leave the organization, they may join the competitor company. So if they join into the competitor company, they may share some confidential information about their previous company with the competitors. This is very dangerous for the company. So in order to avoid this, company tries to retain their best workforce. Also, retained employees will be more adaptable because they already know about the company, its way of working, policies, etc. Whereas if you are recruiting new employees all the time, then they need time to get adjusted to the new organization, to understand the ways of working, rules and regulations, etc. So, for all these reasons, companies try to retain the best of their workforce. So, next question is determine the purpose and importance of recruitment. So, what is the purpose of recruitment? Recruitment is usually undertaken by companies when they are going for expansion, when they are going for growth, or they are diversifying. So, also when vacancies arise due to staff turnover, people have left so for various reasons, so then vacancies arise, then company has to go for recruitment. Also job roles keep on changing. Nowadays there is fast developments in technology and other macro environmental factors, so this causes the jobs to change. So companies start searching for new skills, new knowledge, so then they go for recruitment. So, like how you find most of the manual jobs which were there yesterday, they are no longer existent today. They have been taken over by machines. So, robots are doing many of the jobs in manufacturing. So, in such cases, companies may go for recruitment. Also, internal promotion. When employees are promoted from the lower levels to the higher levels in the organization, then the lower levels will become vacant. The vacancies will arise. So then they have to go for recruitment. Also, workload increased when it happens. Company has to recruit additional people. So, what is the importance of recruitment? Through recruitment, company can come to know about their present workforce and also about their future requirements of manpower. And recruitment, as I told you, it is a positive process. It helps to generate a pool of talented applicants, and it also increases the success rate of selection. If your recruitment is very effective, then there is a likely chance that your selection will also be very effective. And also, recruitment helps the company to meet its legal and social obligations. Legal obligations means by law, companies have to provide employment to people. So, through the process of recruitment, they can achieve that. And our social obligations is society requires the businesses to give jobs to people so that they can enjoy a decent standard of living, so they have their livelihood. So to fulfill their social obligations also, companies can do recruitment. And also to reduce the turnover of employees, that is to reduce the number of employees leaving the organization, they can go for recruitment. So these are all the reasons which state why recruitment is important in organizations. So we'll go to the next question. What are the barriers of effective selection process? So to make your selection process successful, there are some things which arise as barriers. So what are these barriers? We will see one by one. One is diverse selection methods. Like companies use different selection methods, very diverse selection methods to select the candidates. So this becomes difficult to narrow down to the most suitable candidate. It can affect the selection process in a negative manner, and also the organizational environments keep on changing. Again, the macro environmental factors like economic environment, socio-cultural environment, technological environment, legal, political environment, all these environments keep on changing, so they affect the selection process. So when economy is down, so naturally companies will stop their recruitment and selection as the economy is down into a recession period. So to, and also it is costly and time consuming. So to control their expenses, companies may not go for selection process. This may not, or they may not follow all the methods, selection methods, appropriate selection methods to select the candidates. So then the selection process may not be effective. And perception of selection, people have different opinions. Some people have a negative opinion about selection, and some people have a positive opinion. So, such perceptions, perceptual difference can affect the selection process. It may not be a successful one. They may not get suitable candidates to place into jobs, and most of the times the selection process is not fair. There will be a lot of bias, there will be a lot of partiality, especially government jobs, lot of bribes and things like that are happening. So all this affects the selection process from being effective. And the selection tests which is used by companies may not be reliable, it may not give a fruitful result, so that can also affect the selection process. And as I told you, the selectors, those who are doing the selection, they face a lot of pressure from politicians or from higher ups in the company. They will be pressurized to focus on a particular candidate and select only that candidate. So such kind of unfairness, partiality, bias can happen, which can affect the selection process, and the selectors will be pressurized to select unsuitable candidates to be placed into the job. So these are all the barriers which affect the selection process and which may not make it effective. So next we go to the process of orientation. So there are three steps of orientation. One is the general orientation, then the departmental orientation, and then we have the specific job orientation. So what is general orientation? General orientation is where all the new employees are gathered into a classroom or into an auditorium, and the top management people address them, and they tell about the company, all details about the company, like its history, its founders, and what are the rules, regulations, policies of the company. So all general information about the company is shared with the new employees who have joined into the organization. So, second step is departmental orientation, where the employees are then taken to their respective departments. Then, there the departmental heads will brief them about the department, like how it functions, what is the way of functioning in each department, what are the rules, what are the policies, of each department. They are introduced to the colleagues and juniors and superiors in the department. And they are taken around to see the department, the facilities in the department, etc. So that is the departmental orientation. Then third, we have the specific job orientation. That is when the candidate is told about his job, what specific job he has to do. And so he is taken to his desk or to his cabin, and then there will be a senior employee or manager who will be telling him in detail how to carry out his job. So he will be told about the various ways of carrying out, completing his task, and he has to do and what he should not do, and the timings, etc., materials to be used, etc. So all these things will be oriented to the new candidate. So this is how the process of orientation that generally happens in the organizations. So this is during induction or during the during the orientation or induction. This is how the employees are oriented. They are taken to a tour of the facilities within the organization. They are introduced to superiors, to top management people, subordinates, colleagues, etc. And they are told about the functions of the organization. They are taken on a departmental visit, and then they are told about what are the goals and objectives and what is the general philosophy, work philosophy of their organization, what are the policies, procedures of the organization. All this is conveyed to the new employee during the process of orientation or induction. So, with this, I end with my questions on Module 2. So, kindly comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that I can come out with more videos which will be useful for you. Thank you.